Why did English become the international language? That is the question we are going to answer today. English is the de facto global lingua franca. It is the language of global commerce, the main language of the international diplomacy. And it's also the language that international travelers with different native language use to communicate each other. And hello everyone, we are from English program, BMS College. In this section, through this process, we build our skill for speaking in English. So here we can find practice, materials, and activities to improve our English skill, especially for speaking. Improving your skill will help you use English more effectively so that we can do well in your studies, get ahead at work, and confidently communicate in English in our free time. Learning how to speak English confidently is incredibly important for anyone studying the language. There is simply no substitute for using your language skills to communicate in real time and in real life, and there's nothing more fun. Speaking success criteria for student success is very important. So from day one, I want students to understand how we are going to work. We are coming in, how we are living, and what we are planning to do in the classroom. It's really important to set that tone for what the environment will be like. Giving them instruction from before they even enter the classroom is very important. Now, some instructions are general, they help you to manage class, right? And some instructions are for an activity like a game or a project. And number one, looking at the learning progression. What are we at in the unit? Number two, how do we know if we have learned, which is the success criteria?
Today, let's talk about how English teaching is changing. Around the world, teachers are getting more creative with how they teach. In Indonesia, we are seeing the same thing. Teachers are using more technology and real-life stuff in class. I was a student before I became an educator, so I've been experiencing a lot of obstacles towards learning English, and I feel like finding the right way for yourself to study effectively needs a lot of time. Like, if you want to know what's suitable for you, you have to try every way possible and then find your best strategy. It's not just about grammar anymore. It's about teaching us the stuff we need to really talk and understand each other in English. You know, like how people really talk. With cool new apps and ways to learn, English classes here are getting more exciting. We are learning how to be awesome at English and get ready for whatever's next. It's like English class is evolving into this whole new world where we are not just memorizing grammar rules anymore. Teachers are bringing in real-life conversations and situations that make learning English feel so relevant. And the technology. It's not just about textbooks and chalkboards anymore. We have got apps that let us practice speaking with people from all over the globe. It's like having a mini world right in our classroom. Plus, learning English isn't just about exams now. It's about feeling confident to actually use it. Whether it's chatting with friends online or giving a presentation, I love how these changes are making English class more engaging. It's not just about learning a language, it's about becoming more fluent in a way that's meaningful to us personally. Another thing that's really exciting is how interactive our lessons have become. We are using virtual reality to immerse ourselves in English-speaking environments, which makes learning super dynamic and realistic. It's like being transported to another country without ever leaving the classroom. The focus has shifted from just memorizing stuff to actually developing practical communication skills. We are encouraged to share our opinions, join debates, and have discussions on all sorts of topics. This not only improves our language skill, but also boosts our critical thinking and confidence. And understanding the cultural context of the language helps us use it more appropriately and connect better with native speakers. It's so cool to learn about different customs, traditions, and ways of life through the lens of language. And collaborative projects are another highlight. Working in groups on assignments or presentations help us learn from each other and practice teamwork. It's a great way to build social skills and make learning more fun. And then the availability of resources has expanded tremendously. We have access to online libraries, educational videos, podcasts, and more. This variety allows us to explore different aspects of the language and find materials that match our interests and learning styles. And overall, these advancements are changing the way we learn English. It's not just about passing tests, it's about truly mastering the language and being able to use it confidently in a real-world situation. This holistic approach is what makes our English classes so effective and enjoyable. And when I started learning English, I faced numerous challenges, from understanding grammar to expanding my vocabulary. And I think to myself, there were moments of frustration when I felt like I wasn't making any progress, right? But I realized that learning a language is a journey, and each obstacle is an opportunity to find a new approach. So now, as an educator, I encourage my students to explore various learning methods and discover what suits them individually. I share my journey with them to illustrate that everyone faces challenges, but with perseverance and the right strategy, they can overcome them and achieve their language goals. But then again, I have one more thing to say. The focus has shifted from just memorizing stuff to actually developing practical communication skills. We are encouraged to share our opinions during debates and have discussions on all sorts of topics. This not only improves our language skills, but also boosts our critical thinking and confidence.
For me personally, learning language, especially English, has become more interesting since there are a lot of fun applications available. I remember when I first started, it felt like such a daunting task, but then I discovered these amazing apps like a demand and a wall process felt more like a game than a crew. One of the first apps I tried was Duolingo. I loved how I turned language learning into a series of bite-sized lessons with colorful, visual, and interactive exercise. Every time I complete a lesson, I felt a sense of accomplishment, like always living up in a game that everyone has daily free, and reward which keep me motivated to practice every day. Then I found memories which use page repetition to help me remember new words and phrases. It was incredible to see how quickly I could expand my vocabulary just by using the app for a few minutes each day. That this part was that I could learn at my own pace without feeling overwhelmed. Another app that really helped me was Hello Talk. It connects me with native English speakers from around the world. The exchange message, voice note, and every video call. It's like having a pen pal who help me practice my English while I help them with my native language. Using these apps transformed my language learning expression. It went from being something I dreaded to something I looked forward to every day. I started to see real progress, not just in my ability to understand and speak English, but also in my confidence. I found myself more willing to participate in conversation and less afraid of making mistakes.
I like the way technology developing so fast throughout the years. It made me easier to learn English, especially in this globalization era. When I first started, it felt overwhelming, but then I discovered several amazing tools that make the process enjoyable. For instance, I found online platforms that offer practical conversation and real-life dialogue. This helped me understand how to use English in everyday situations, which was incredibly useful. I also came across immersive learning techniques, where I could learn English in the same way I learned my native language as a child. These techniques focus on listening, speaking, reading, and writing, giving me a well-rounded grasp of the language. Another helpful research was structured lesson with clear explanation and interactive exercise. This helped me grasp the grammar rules and sentence structure in a fun and engaging way. Plus, having personalized learning plan that adapts to my progress made sure I stayed on track. In addition to these resources, I use real-world videos transformed into language learning experience. Watching movies, Music videos and inspiring talks with interactive subtitles allowed me to improve my listening skills and pick up new vocabulary naturally.
Learning English or any language is a personal journey. It requires time, effort, and a willingness to adapt. But once you find your best strategy, the progress you make will be incredibly rewarding. I also learned that incorporating English into my daily routine, such as reading books, watching movies, and listening to music, made the process more enjoyable and less daunting. I experiment with various methods to see what works best for me. I tried everything from traditional classroom setting to self-study and group discussion. Each method had its pros and cons, but through trial and error, I discovered what helped me the most.
Modern technology makes it possible to access a wide range of dynamic and interesting learning materials, including social media platforms, online courses, and language learning applications, which means that can help people learn English more effectively and enjoyable.
I think today's technology is very helpful because we can feel our own improvement, which means it is very important for us. The teachers can visualize what they are talking about so that we can understand them well.
English language access provides literature, knowledge, and information from all across the world. It all depends on us how we can use it well. Technology used in the modern world is quite acceptable. Thanks to technology, education may be more participating and interesting. Multimedia research like movies, animation, and simulation can help make difficult subjects simpler to comprehend.
I think the library is one of the main needs in university education. The entire academic and research process is completely dependent on the library network in order for educational program to run well. Based on my experience, I have used the library when working on a paper. There, I can explore more knowledge. After a long journey, I searched for various searches in technology, but there was nothing, and I only found it in the library. I really feel grateful and happy, and I have gone to the library when I follow essay competition. So immediately, I read some reference books, and I found what I searched to write on the essay. I'm very calm after that. The library offers resources and encourages thinking, creativity, and curiosity, which makes learning more useful. Based on my experience as an English education student, I've been a member of the library. With that, I can borrow books more easily, and I'm involved in various library activities. For example, literacy activities help me develop my ability to work on writing fiction, non-fiction, and scientific papers. Also, the library became one of my most comfortable places, and yeah, I was very happy in the library. The library plays a crucial role in supporting student learning in college, especially for the English education department. It helps improve their English skills because it provides access to academic resources including collection of books, journals, and resources focused on English language teaching methodologies, linguistics, literature, and educational theories relevant to teach English as a second language, aka ASL, or foreign language, or EFL. So they find these resources essential for research and academic projects. And the library facilitates access to computers, printers, scanners, and study rooms within the library are often seen as convenient and beneficial for completing coursework and multimedia production. And the library often serves a quiet and focused environment for studying and completing assignments. Students who prefer a peaceful environment value this aspect greatly. In short, university libraries are invaluable resources for English education department, offering comprehensive collection, expert assistance, and variety of services that support teaching and research.
Microteaching is a teacher training method where you teach a short lesson to a small group for about 5 to 20 minutes. The idea is to focus on specific teaching skills and get immediate feedback. The main purpose of microteaching is to develop or improve specific teaching skills, especially pedagogy, professional competency, personality, and social competency. Based on my own experience, it was incredibly beneficial for teachers to boost their confidence and to reflect on their teaching performance. For example, during one of my microteaching sessions, I had to teach a grammar lesson to my peers. I focused on engaging my audience with interactive activities such as games, quiz, and etc. After the session, I received feedback on my pacing, clarity, and how well I involved the students. They suggested that I could improve by asking more open-ended questions to encourage deeper thinking for my students. So I started incorporating the feedback into my lesson plans and teaching strategies. For example, I made a conscious effort to include more interactive elements and open-ended questions in my lessons. This not only made my classes more engaging, but also helped the students to understand the material better.
Studying in a macro teaching was quite unique and very educational. We had the chance to observe and participate in very short, focused teaching session. It was so quiet, like a condensed version of a typical class. After each session, the instructor and fellow student would provide feedback. This helped us to see what worked well and what could be improved. It was a great way to learn from each other, experience, and mistakes. For example, when one of my classmates taught us a short lesson about fraction, they used visual aids and interactive activities that made the concept really clear. However, during the feedback session, it was pointed out that she could improve by slowing down a bit to ensure everyone was following along. This taught me the importance of pausing and checking for understanding. It gave me a deeper appreciation for the complexities of teaching and the importance of continued improvement. It also highlighted the value of peer feedback and collaboration in professional development.
Okay, what I feel about my debut in micro-teaching is that I think it's nerve-wracking at first, but it was also a self-improvement to practice. Knowing that everyone was there to learn and support each other made it less intimidating. Plus, the feedback I received was incredibly helpful for my development as a teacher to be. I developed several skills for my micro-teaching sessions, such as classroom management, effective communication, and for the last, lesson planning. It also improved my teaching performance, especially in teaching and engaging with students. I learned how to create engaging lesson within a limited time frame and how to manage different learning styles within a small group. It's an invaluable experience that provides practical, hands-on learning. It helps us build confidence and refine our teaching skill in a sport-type environment.
For me, the most challenging part of micro-teaching was condensing a full lesson into such a short time frame. It forced me to prioritize the most important points and think critically about how to deliver material effectively and efficiently. At first, I was never hear critics from my friends, but over time I realized how valuable their insights were. We all learned to give and receive constructive criticism, which helped us improve and support each other's growth. Since I learned in micro-teaching, I became more focused on setting clear objectives and making sure each activity was directly tied to these objectives. It also made me more mindful of time management and the importance of keeping students actively engaged throughout the lesson.
From all the explanations, we can conclude that the rapid advancement of technology has significantly transformed English teaching and learning. Tools like micro-teaching and innovative apps have made the process more engaging, interactive, and effective. Libraries remain essential, providing invaluable resources and support for students, particularly in specialized fields like English education. These combined efforts contribute to a dynamic and supportive learning environment that fosters continuous improvement and collaboration, ultimately preparing students to confidently use English in real-world situations.
right?
One of the first apps I tried was gak kelihatan akunya. Gak kelihatan. Balikan lagi dari awal. Kamunya jangan miring awal. Nah gitu. Tapi itu tangan kamu yang sebetulnya itu.
Cek. Oh, learning English or any language is a personal journey. It requires time, effort, and a willingness to adapt. But Pak, maaf ulang lagi.
Based on my experience, I have used the library.
The main purpose of microteaching is to develop or improve specific teaching skills, especially pedagogy, or professional. Sorry. Sudah?
The concept really clear.
Okay, what I feel about my debut in microteaching is that I think it's worth never working at first. Enggak, cepat. Sedikit, maaf. Ya, maaf. Oke, maaf. Sudah.
Social media platform, online courses, and language. Including aduh.
Udah. Iya, kok sedikit.
And lupa. Sorry. Sok ayo. Beres kalau sakitu. Atuh potong heula nyaho orangnya aku potong heula. Apa? Hah? Nah, kemana tah hiji dia na. Oh bisa tuh. Ya udah sok balikan lagi aja. Technology is you. Nih. Lain. Use ina ka hiji. Oke.
We are